All right, guys, in the last couple lessons, we talked about what is slope, the different types of slope, how to find slope, what slope is, and then we talked about the slope-intercept form, which you see here in two different areas, two different equations written in slope-intercept form. Now, today we are going to focus on actually graphing these equations. Okay? Now, if you remember correctly, there are two parts from this equation that we can pull out. We can pull out the m, which is the slope, and the b, which is the y-intercept. Remember that the slope, let me do a different color for b. The slope is the part that is the number that is to the left of the x. Okay, so in this case, it is going to be 3 is our slope. Now, I'm going to take, since this is not a fraction right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 3 and I'm going to put a 1 under it to make it a fraction. And I'll explain why I did that here in a little bit. But let's go ahead and look at the next part, the y-intercept, the b, because that is what we actually need to start with. The b of this equation comes from the part that is just to the right of that variable x. So in this case, we have -3 is our y-intercept. This y-intercept, what this tells us is where is this equation going to cross the y-axis. Now remember, the y-axis is our vertical line, the one that goes up and down here, right? So what you're going to need to do is on that y-axis, you're going to need to go to -3. And remember that negative tells you to go down. So from the middle, you're going to count down 1, 2, 3 spots and put a dot. That is your y-intercept. That is what we just checked off right there. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to use our slope. The slope gives us values called the rise over the run. Okay? Now, the top number in that fraction, the reason that I made it a fraction, because the top number is going to tell you how far up or how far down to go. If your top number, or if your fraction is positive, you're going to go up. If your fraction is negative, you're going to go down. The bottom number of your fraction that you create or that you see is going to tell you how far to the right to go. Okay? So this fraction here, this 3/1, came from this 3 that was in our equation. This is positive, so it tells us we're going to go up 3 times and to the right 1 time. Now how this works is you are going to start from your y-intercept. That's why you start here. So your y-intercept is -3. From there, you're going to do this up 3/1. You're going to use your slope. 1, 2, 3 over 1. Put another dot. Then you can do it again from there. 1, 2, 3 over 1. And if you do those slopes correctly, if you counted correctly and you have the right intercept, if you come from here to that point, you should have a completely straight line going through all the points that you created. If it is not straight, you did something incorrectly. If your line is straight, then everything should be good. So let's look at this second one. Again, we need to pull out our slope. Let's do this one in blue. We need to pull out our slope, our m, and then that's the part that's right next to the x. We have -1/2. And our intercept, our b, is the part that's to the right of that, which is 4. So let's go ahead and plot that intercept right away. We have +4, so from the middle, 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to be our first point. And then we look at the slope. Notice now here that it's negative. Negative means down, and we'll always go to the right. So that negative tells us down, and the top number tells us how many times. So from that middle, from that intercept, not from the middle, from that intercept we already plotted, we're going to go down once and to the right twice based on that intercept, or that slope. Down once, right 2 times. And again, if you did your lines correctly, your plots correctly, you should get a straight line that goes through all of those dots. If this did not make sense to you, there is an Ed puzzle within this folder that you are welcome to watch and answer questions as well, or email me and I will try to answer your questions as best I can. I hope you are doing okay, and we'll see you guys in a couple of days.